Hello, I am here with one of our amazing exhibitors for the Thrive Together event. I'm here with Tom and Chris from Scott's Accounting. Thanks, guys, for being here. Now, what is Thrive Together? Thrive Together is an NDIS event for really anyone working in the NDIS sector. We know that for NDIS providers to be able to deliver exceptional outcomes but for participants, we need lots of people working together. People need to connect, they need to communicate, they need to collaborate. And the NDIS providers also need incredible service providers around them. And that is what the event is all about. So today we're talking about money. Now, I know that a lot of NDIS providers come into this with big hearts. They want to change the world. They want to make a huge difference. But we can't make that impact without having a solid business making solid funds. So, Tom, Chris, we're here to get some insights from the two of you. So, Tom, we'll start with you. Do you want to share with us a little bit about Scott's Accounting, what you do, and who you work with?
Yeah. So we're located in Geelong. We're a family-run firm. Our old man's been in business for about 35 plus years. So I guess in the core of that, we've always worked with small family-run businesses as well. That's kind of our expertise. Recently, we've had a big influx from the NDIS sector, probably the last 3 or 4 years, with the opportunity where they've kind of been given the potential to start up a business, but they've probably lacked that guidance because they hadn't really had in their journey that they were ever going to be business owners. But with how the NDIS has worked, and with all the plans recently, we have found that there's been a big influx of those types of businesses come across to us, and they have probably needed a bit more of their handheld during that, because they haven't really had that business back in before. So I guess where we come in, we come on with a hands-on approach and try and guide them through that, whether it's through trying to simplify the numbers, because it can be pretty daunting when you first get into business and look at the big profit and loss and financials and everything. So we try and simplify it, set them goals and give them some pretty straightforward targets to make sure that they can stay on track from a financial perspective, so they can just focus on providing a good service for their clients. So
I love that. Now, Chris, we know that a lot of the services in the NDIS billed per hour, per service, per unit, let's call it. And so you've really got to have a really great understanding of the numbers. I know you've got some really interesting examples of how some have benefited more than others. Do you want to share a little bit with us about some examples?
Yeah, I think it's something in this particular industry you need to be constantly looking at and running those key numbers. Staff, particularly in this industry, are your biggest asset, but they're also your biggest vulnerability as well. So getting those numbers right really do require a check-in, and we have seen same turnover type of businesses have really, really different profit results, and it's something Tom's worked recently with a couple of clients, and luckily we do have a couple of really successful businesses operating at the moment. A lot of their success is because of their genuine belief in what they're doing, and they care about what they're doing, but they've also spent the time and put the effort into understanding the numbers, what the award is, having support from HR organizations, things like that, because it is a really key thing to do, because hopefully everyone is passionate about their business and what they do, but you don't have to be an accountant, but understanding those key metrics are something that is really important, and that's what we sort of like, sitting down, clarifying, and helping the client understand what they need to know in that regard.
Yeah, love that. I mean, I know that, in the NDIS sector specifically, the advisory component of accounting becomes really, really important. It's a relationship where it's not just about, lodging your tax and lodging your BASs. It's really about understanding the numbers and really being able to pull the levers within the business to ensure that you can earn the revenue so that you can make more impact. And really kind of build it into what you want. Have you either of you got a little tip you can share with us today for everyone?
Yeah, it's probably just, you do have to be mindful that in the NDIS space, you are capped with what you can invoice out. So you do have to be pretty, I guess, concentrated on your expenses, because if you end up spending too much money on overheads and other costs, it can actually have a big impact on your profit. Whereas if you're a tradie or in a different industry, you can always mark it up and get it on the other side of the invoice. Whereas I think some NDIS clients, because they do really care about providing a really good service, they probably spend too much money on other overheads, which then means that they end up not seeing any profit. And if at the end of the day they don't make any profit, it means that their business might not be, I guess, successful for a long time, which means they're not going to be able to service those people for a long time. So I think it is just being mindful that obviously you got to invoice as per the NDIS, I guess, guidelines, and it's just being mindful of all those other costs that you have when running a business. So yeah,
that's really helpful. Can I ask you one other question, which we have not prepared earlier? There are a lot of NDIS providers who are also not for profit, and so layering kind of that legislation on top of the NDIS legislation, have you got clients in that kind of situation?
Most of ours at the moment aren't in the not-for-profit space. They're running as a genuine business, I suppose. So that's not a space that we're 100% in, and I think it's a specialist area that does require that specialist. So we are more focused on the small business clients, because that's, you know, been a core part of our business for, like Tom said.
Yes, of course.
So it's really the business type of clients that we'll after.
Brilliant, and also I know you mentioned earlier, Tom, that you know you work with you're a family business and you work with a lot of family businesses. A lot of your NDIS clients are also family businesses. Can you share a little bit about, you know, what you see and the support, the benefits of having a good accountancy support there for a family business?
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely important to have. It's almost like we're a support network to them, because sometimes when you run a business, you don't really want to take home all the stress and all the concerns home to your family, because then it might weigh on your husband or wife and kids if you don't really have someone to talk to that understands your business in more detail. So I guess that's where we try and catch up with our business clients more regularly, whether it's a quarterly basis, so we can actually check in, see how they're going. If they've got any concerns, they can open up to us. And sometimes we just sit and chat for about an hour, and they can kind of then get everything off their plate, and then we can help guide them through that. So I think, the benefit of working with those small family businesses is trying to take the stress away when they do go home, so they can actually switch off and know that we're only a phone call away if they've got any issues. So
love it.
Well, we do have a number of like husband and wife teams that are involved as well, and I think like they're working super hard and probably get caught up in it all. So it is good sometimes when they have their downtime, they probably don't want to keep talking business. So sometimes that quarterly checkpoint or whatever, wherever we might see them, whatever frequency, it's just good to sort of sit down and unpack it, congratulate them a lot of times on the great work that they're doing, and give them that recognition along the way that, yes, okay, we are heading in the right direction.
Yeah, you certainly need it from external sources, from some, because sometimes it's hard to see it when you're inside it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
yeah. Great support. Well, thanks guys for joining me. We're excited to see you all at the Thrive Together NDIS event, where everyone will be focused on building collaboration relationships. So please come along, register, and invite others to join too, and we will see you there.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot.